So what happens when you have a breakthrough? A breakthrough is a light bulb moment, an epiphany. A breakthrough is, let me put it in physical terms. A breakthrough is an opening. It's a portal opening in the mind. But in physical terms, it could simply mean something as you've been practicing and practicing and practicing something like golf. And you've done this golf course dozens of times. You're learning. And you see over there in the 7th hole, you've made all the other holes exactly the way you want from practice. But for some reason, you can't make it, your ball, get to the 7th hole. It goes in the sand pit. It goes in the little pond. It goes in the trees, and you're searching for it. You can't find it. But you keep trying to get that ball, when you're golfing, in the 7th hole. And then you have a breakthrough moment. You're lining yourself up. Now, I don't play golf, but my father used to golf, and I watch golf on TV sometimes, and I have friends that golf. And I play mini golf. So you've got your eye on that hole over there in the physical sense. And you get yourself lined up. Your stance is perfect because you've practiced it. You've practiced it so many times. And you're holding your golf wand, golf pole, whatever they call it, golf club. You're holding your golf club in the perfect way. And you arch yourself back in the perfect way. And then you have an epiphany. If I adjust myself in just a little bit more of an angle, and I swing back, the ball is not going to go into the woods, into the sand pit, or into the pond. It's going to go where I envision it to go. And so you wind up and you hit that ball, and lo and behold, that ball soars onto the green a foot from the 7th hole. And you think to yourself, okay, oh no, wait a minute. Am I going to be able to remember to do this the next time I get to this place in this spot? And so you say to yourself at that moment, I moved myself just slightly to a certain angle, and I was able to make it to that 7th hole green, a foot from the actual hole. Next time, I may get a hole in one. So I'm going to remember that. That is how the conscious mind works. Here's another situation. How many times have you put your keys down and then you go looking for your keys and you can't find them? When you come into the house, you've done this dozens of times. I don't understand this. I say to myself, I'm going to put my keys down in the same spot, and you come in and you put your keys down someplace else, and then somebody throws a newspaper over it and you can't find it. At that point, you have an epiphany. And you say to yourself, before I do anything else, when I walk into that house, I'm going to take my keys, I'm going to put them down on the counter, and I'm going to say to myself, I put these keys down on this counter next to this tissue box, next to this pen and pencil holder, and you visually see yourself do it. And then you go about your business. You have to leave the house and you're like, where did I put my keys? The first thing you remember is that you put your keys always in the same spot, which you don't. And you stand there for a moment and a memory comes. Tissue box, pencil and pen holder. Ah, that's where my keys are. This is how the conscious mind works. The conscious mind creates a memory of where you've been so that you can create another conscious memory of where you're going. So it is really important to move out of the subconscious mind into the conscious mind. All of us have a subconscious mind. All of us have done things subconsciously. All of us have said things subconsciously. All of us have lived subconsciously. So when we begin to become aware of our environment and we become aware of ourselves, we've made a conscious choice to not deny who we are. Have you ever been in a situation where you're having a conversation with someone and then you say, oh, okay, I want to just back up again. You said, and you repeat what was said, and then that person says to you, I never said that. Well, you know you're not crazy. You know you heard that. So you refrain and reframe what you heard again. No, I didn't say that. That's the subconscious mind. That is someone living in their subconscious mind because they have not reached that point of awareness within themselves that they do that. They do say that. I do that, and I do say that. It is much easier to tell someone else how to live in the conscious mind than it is for us to actually live in it. This is why it's so much easier to tell somebody else what they should do than it is for us to do what we know we should do. And so it's really important to understand how vibration and frequency work. When we talk about manifestation is not something that you are going to do. You cannot manifest any more than I can manifest for you. But you can create a manifesting thought. And when you create that manifesting thought, you are pulling the frequencies, you are pulling the vibrations into that manifesting thought, which is why it is so important to be careful about what we say. And I'm telling you this as I tell myself this because I tend to like to just say whatever pops into my head. And that's not always of a high frequency. So, talking about manifesting a situation, that's a need, actually. When your focus is on the manifestation itself, you've already put yourself in a position to reject it. Quantum physics is moving into that vibration and flowing with it. It's not chronically repeating over and over in your mind the manifestation. You've already done that. You've already had that manifestation thought. Let's just use something physical as an example. Excuse me. You would like a brand new or a different, let's just say, living room set. And you know what you'd like. So you've now manifested that thought in your mind. But you let that go. You let it go. You've manifested it. It's in your vibration. It's in your frequency. You do not have to keep telling the universe, this is what I want, this is what I want. Hello? You do not have to keep beating down that door. You've already done it. So once you bring that manifestation, vibration, frequency, thought into your conscious awareness, you now release it. And you allow the universe to bring it to you. The more you bring that manifestation thought into your brain, you're telling the universe you don't trust, you don't believe. You do not have to keep saying it over and over again. You do not have to keep saying, I hope, I pray. Knowing that you did it is enough. Because the other vibration of that is very similar to a tornado. The weather. When the weather is set up as such, a tornado is formed, and a tornado takes a path. And a tornado can take another path. And when a tornado, which is shaped like a V, goes into a section of its path, it uproots everything in its path and throws it. When you have a manifestation thought, you create kind of like a vortex, kind of like a tornado. But you do not want that to be destructive. So your path, your frequency has to be allowed in order to get to the destination. Otherwise, it will throw that vortex off track. Otherwise, it will become destructive. And you will not manifest what it is that you desire, that you need, that you want. And I'm not talking about becoming a billionaire, although that is possible. I'm talking about fulfillment of the life that you are creating, that's peaceful, comfortable, loving, happy, joyful. But you are in need of a new living room set. You are in need. It is a need. Your other one is falling apart. You have put planks underneath the cushions because they sink way down. You've covered it with a blanket because it has holes in it. You are in need. So your manifestation is not beyond the scope of what can happen. So once you have created that thought, conscious thought manifestation, it is now put out there. Now you allow it. You do not have to keep knocking on that door. It's already been opened. Go on to something else. Go on with your day. Go on with your life. As you allow, it's happening. You know it's happening. It will appear. And it could be a living room set on the side of the road that somebody didn't like, that's in perfectly good condition, that they put there this morning, and it hasn't been rained on, and there's a sign that says free. And you pull up to that and you go knock on their door and you say, I really like this living room set. I'd like to take it. Can you take the sign off of it that says free and put sold on it? Because I would like to come back and pick it up with my pickup truck, or get somebody that has a pickup truck. Or if you're in your pickup truck at the best possible moment of the manifestation, you load it up and you take it away. This is how manifestation works. You don't need to get deep in thought about it. You just need to be in that frequency and in that vibration. So, why am I telling you all this? Because I would like your life to be easier. I would like you to stop thinking about the force of creating and co-creating. I would like you to get into the flow of the conscious thought processes. And the more you think about what you don't want, the more what you don't want appears. This is a very difficult concept to explain to somebody that's living in the physical subconsciously. Because when that individual is living in the physical subconsciously, all they can see is the subconscious. All they can see is that the awareness of the moment is, I've got to fix this. And so the block of all the possibilities that could happen, which are hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, can't get to that situation. And if you've ever been in a situation where you've got something hammering you from the outside, you've got to do this, you've got to do this, you've got to do this. Or you have done that to someone else, because I know I have. When you're in that situation, that is force. Like the force of a tornado. And the path is destruction. The path is more money than you have that you need to put into this. The path is more destructive in the sense that you're working more hours than you need to. The path of destruction is that you're not sleeping at night because you're worrying. And although all of this does happen in the physical human existence, it doesn't have to be so hard. And that's why I'm here. So what I'd like to do is pull a card for today. I don't have my other cards with me, but I'm going to use the cards that I have. And I'm going to ask for the right card to show up for this situation that we're talking about here. That the divine or the divinity of the universe, God, source, universal spirit, whatever you choose to say, I am not going to tell you what to say. I say God is simple. But what I mean is pulling that energy in to you to hear. Now, if you don't feel like you've had to get into that spot in your life, hold on. Hold on to your hats, because it's coming. You will have to do that. At some point in your life, you will be in a position where you have to do that. If you are wanting peace. Here's another thing for you. Have you ever been in a position where it seems like everything is in alignment and it's working good for you? And you come up to this situation, and for some reason you shut that down. For some reason you say, I can't do that because. I'm not going to do that because. I don't want to do that because. But in the back of your mind, or in your conscious awareness, you already know. So where did that come from? Where did that come from that you shut that down? Did that come from ego? Did that come from a previous experience where you almost got to this point and you're self-sabotaging yourself? Because it really has nothing to do with the external. It has to do with you. And it also has to do with the fact that maybe you're jumping too quickly. Maybe you've jumped too quickly, and now you find yourself in a position where you're not really very happy with the decision that you made because you jumped too quickly, because you had a thought, and that thought was something that you were manifesting, and then you interfered with that thought and you took the reins and you chose something because you thought that that was the right thing to do without waiting for it to unfold. Just a thought. So let's pull a card. I'm going to pull from the top of the deck. I'm not going to fan them out. I'm going to pull from the top of the deck. Walk away. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. Now, when I used to read this card, just to show you between the subconscious and the conscious mind, when I used to read this card, I thought that this card meant that I needed to physically uproot myself and walk away from a situation, from a person, from an environment. This does not mean that at all, particularly in the talk that we're having right now. To walk away simply means to eliminate. Your higher self wants you to walk away from that unhealthy way of thinking, that unhealthy way of visualizing, that unhealthy perception, that unhealthy attitude, that unhealthy subconscious mind that's you're pulling in because you've been there before and it didn't work out right for you, so you're going to shut it down and you're not going to think about it again. Or it could be an unhealthy relationship that you had and you cut it off and you find that situation is back in your life and it needs forgiveness and it needs healing, and then you can move on. To walk away has nothing to do with physically walking away. It could, but the deeper message is for you to walk away from your unhealthy habits, your unhealthy thinking processes, your unhealthy subconscious thoughts of negativity and to step into a healthy situation that produces healthier results. And you already know this in here. So it is our job to tell you how to get there. You could be in a situation that's causing you great inner angst. And if it's a person, or if it's a job, or if it's a situation, you are not going to find the answers if that is your focus. You will find the answers when your focus is in here, up to here. And so creating that reality means that you need to pull into yourself for your highest self and understand yourself, which sometimes means listening to someone that can see and observe. And if you shut that down, you will not reach the point that you need to be to get to the next level or get to the next situation. So you create an environment that is more difficult than it needs to be. And sometimes people will ask, how do you deal with that? Well, that's how you deal with it. It's not about talking to this person, talking to that person, talking to that person, talking to that person, getting 50 million opinions, because you already have the answer. You just need to be present with yourself. Get yourself out of that thought, that unhealthy thinking, subconscious way of dealing with things, and pull into your conscious awareness of manifesting, of allowing, of attracting, and being present, and it will happen for you. Okay, my friends? Talk to you later. Please like, please subscribe, please click the notifications to all on my channel so you will get future uploads. I would like to communicate with you. I would like you to ask questions. I would like you to let me know how you're thinking. Let me know how this resonates with you. Let me know if it doesn't feel right to you. Let me know. It's okay. All of it is okay. Because all is well with my soul. I'm also going to be doing a series of videos about my story. And that story is going to go way back. So, I'm not sure when I'm going to do that, but the timing will be right. And when it happens, it happens. Okay? Love you all. Take care. Be well. Be blessed. Until next time.